What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and we are here with the next fights to make following UFC 299 O'Malley versus Vera 2. I've got 12 key fighters on the card, and I'm going to match make for all of them and tell you what their next fight should be and why that should be their next fight. Also, when and where this fight should take place. Let's get into it with the main event winner. Sean O'Malley won a dominant decision, put on a masterclass against Marlon Chito Vera, and I believe he should fight Merab Dvalishvili next. No Poirier fight, no double champ attempt after one title defense. I don't care. That's fucking retarded. Can we stop making double champ fights meaningless and doing them after one fight when Poirier has not defended his belt and O'Malley has defended it once in a fight that the guy didn't even deserve the shot? So can we actually see fighters beat guys in their own division? I'm aware Poirier versus O'Malley is a sick fight. I know it's a great fight. I'm not sure who I would pick. Probably Poirier, because he's just really good at hitting people in the face really hard, and he's also good at grappling. And O'Malley, his weakness is grappling, and he can also get cracked a little bit. If anyone's going to crack him, it's going to be Poirier. But still, I get it. It's a sick fight, but not right now. Do O'Malley versus Merab. Do Poirier versus fucking Ortega or Volk or anyone in the meantime. Let's actually see fighters defend their belts in their division before moving up. You don't just get to defend once. Like, it just makes it meaningless, because otherwise, what are we gonna, like, champ versus champ fight? Like, it's hardly even a champ versus champ fight at this point. It's just fucking two guys fighting each other. Like, the champ versus champ thing becomes meaningless when you just overdo it like this. So do O'Malley versus Merab in, like, July. International Fight Week is like a co-main event, or you could do it as the first pay-per-view in June, because there's like a pay-per-view in Newark apparently the start of June, so you could do it then. But knowing O'Malley, he's going to sit out, they're going to make him sit out for ages, and then we're going to see him come back in like September and fight fucking, I don't know, Cheeto again. Like, he'll come back in September and fight Poirier. Like, come on, keep him active. I know he got busted up, so probably, June's unrealistic. That's my bad. But like July, August, one of these kind of months, once he heals up, and get him back in there against Merab, or at least a fucking more deserving contender like Sandhagen or something like that. One of those two, Merab or Sandhagen, pick out of those two. No one else deserves it. We move on though to the next fighter. Chito Vera got dominated, took a bunch of damage, so maybe this fight is not quite the one that I should have done. I'm doing Peter Yan versus Chito Vera. That's you probably were wondering why Yan wasn't on the screen. It's because I'm doing him versus Chito. Now that I think about it, it might not be the best idea, because Chito took a bunch of damage, so he's going to be out for a fucking while. But apparently Peter Yan might have like broke his foot or something like that, or hurt his leg. So I don't know. I wouldn't mind seeing Yan take a little bit of time off. If it's not Chito, you could do Yan versus the Figgy Garbrandt winner. You could do that fight. But I think Yan wants to fight up, or fight like right next to him in the rankings. I don't think he wants to fight too far down. Again, a Figgy fight I think would be sick, so maybe I change my tune. If Figgy goes out there and dusts up Cody, I'll probably make that as the next fight to make after UFC 300. But as of right now, I'll just say do these two versus each other. They're right next to each other in the rankings. Peter Yan needs like two more to get a title shot probably, because I know a lot of people dispute 2 of the 3 decisions which he lost, but still, they're on his record. He's 1-3 in his last 4, so we can't just rush him back in there and say, yeah, 1 win, title shot. Like, you need 1 is getting you there, and then 2 is like, yeah, all right, we can get you back in there. But the O'Malley fight was close, so I do see the appeal to running that back. But there's other guys right now, Sandhagen and Merab, both more deserving than Yan. He needs to get, in my opinion, 2 more wins. But I'm happy that he got the dub. Good stuff. This would be a good fight too. I think Yan will just beat the fuck out of him for 5 rounds. Or 3, however long they made the fight. But that's kind of the thing with Chito now. You're just going to have to put him in fights, and he's either going to get the fuck beat out of him, or he's just going to occasionally KO people. And I don't think Yan's a guy that he would KO if Song Yadong couldn't do it. So yeah, we move on to the co-main event. Ston the Diamond Poirier got the win over Bernard St. Denis. Made me get my pick wrong, made me look a bit dumb, but made Lucas Tracy look even more dumb. So yeah, I wasn't the ultimate Bernard St. Denis glazer that got shut down tonight. It was LT was the number 1 guy. But regardless, Dustin Poirier versus Islam Makhachev is what I think will happen next. Not what I think should, but think about it. Lightweight, I don't think if Gaethje wins, he's getting a title shot. If Gaethje loses, I just don't know how much appeal there is to run that one back one fight after it happened. If Max loses, I think he's just going to go back down to 45. If Oliveira wins, he's not going to fight Poirier. If Arman wins, he's not fighting Poirier. And the loser of that fight, Arman wouldn't, and I doubt either of them are going to do it. Chandler's waiting for Conor. Skamrot is a teammate of Poirier. So I think you have to do Makachev, just because, again, there's four fighters, that are fighting on 300 that could pitch their case for a title shot, and I don't think any of them are going to be ready by June, which is what is strongly rumoured as when Makachev's going to be fighting again. It seems like they've done the approach of booking like 293, like 2.5 months after 290, and saying to Whittaker Costa winner, just like, too bad you got to turn around and fight Izzy. Even though obviously that didn't end up having to happen. But I think that is going to be a similar thing. Strickland fought 1 week before. He was the guy that was ready. I don't think Gaethje or Oliveira or Arman or Max will be ready. I think Dustin's just going to get that call. And he'll be like, 25 minutes paid in full, man. This is the top of the mountain. I've got one more shot at this. I think he would get smoked by Islam and get subbed easily. But I think availability is going to be his best friend. He didn't take heaps of damage. Bunnar did land some solid shots. But apart from that, he got grappled a lot, so I wouldn't say Poirier is going to be beat up too badly. And I don't think he needs to take a heap of time off. So yeah, I think we're going to end up seeing him versus Makhachev in June. Deserved? Absolutely not. But what it's going to probably happen? Yes. We move on, though, to the loser of the co-main event. Bernard St. Denis, Lucas Tracy's boyfriend. He took a tough loss. It's unfortunate for him. He got KO'd in the second, and he's going to need a whole lot of time off because it was a pretty bad KO loss. But I think he should come back in September, and I think he should fight Dan Hooker. Look, Dan Hooker, should he probably fight before then? Yeah, so maybe you do Dan Hooker versus someone else in the meantime. But I don't want to see BSD back too quickly because I do think he has the potential to come back and make a good turnaround in his next fight and get back in the win column. But if he turns around in fucking July in like 3 months or 4 months, he's probably just going to get KO'd again if he fights a power puncher. So I think Dan Hooker's injured right now. He did his arm. I think he said he was looking to get back in like June, July or September, mate. Just Dan Hooker, just push it back a couple months, fight BSD. Turner versus Moicano just got booked, so like a lot of people were thinking Moicano versus Hooker, so that's not what we're seeing anymore. I guess you could do Hooker versus Skamrot, or like Hooker versus RDA or something like that, but I think you're gonna go to Dan Hooker and they're gonna be like, yo, you want to fight BSD, the guy that in his last fight just fought Dustin and looked like a fucking tard on the feet with no defense, and he was like, fuck yeah, oh, fucking smoke him, yeah. And Dan Hooker's going to just accept it and just tard max his way to a fucking TKO loss. But yeah, I think this is just a banger. Just make it happen. It's a fun fight. A lot of people are going to be like, oh, well, Poirier beat him, and that was his jump up the rankings. He doesn't deserve a top 10 fight. Like, Dan Hooker's like hardly a top 10 guy, even though he technically is ranked there. I don't think anyone considers him like a top 10 guy. Like, he's not a contender. And I don't think rankings matter with this fight. You just make a fun scrap. I wouldn't mind seeing BSD just like get a rebound fight against someone outside the rankings. Like, I don't know, the Brenner versus Oralby winner or some shit like that. Or just give him some bum. Give him Paddy Pimlet. That's the fight I don't mind. That would be funny just to see Pimlet get slept. But Hooker versus BSD, I think it's just a fun scrap. Not as dangerous of a matchup for BSD in my opinion. Hooker doesn't quite have that as clean one-punch boxing that Poirier does, and I don't think he would like present heaps of problems on the ground, but still, I'm not saying BSD runs through him, obviously. I think it'll be a pretty competitive fight and just a good scrap to make happen. So yeah, we move on though to the next fight. MVP got a win over Kevin Holland. It's pretty obvious. Wonderboy Thompson, that's the fight to make. Do it in England. This was my proposal. You do Almeida, why do I keep saying Almeida? You do Aspinall versus Blades, which is I'm going to put down later on, but that's pretty obvious. You do that, main event. You do Leon Bilal co-main, and then you do Wonderboy versus Thompson feature fight, or you do Gary versus Jeff Neal he just fought Jeff Neal. Gary versus Colby Covington feature fight, and then you do MVP versus Kevin Holland main Why do I keep fucking saying fights that just happened? You do MVP versus Stephen Thompson main card opener. That's a sick London. I might do a London card build, not London, sorry, an England fight card builder. But yeah, pretty comfortable. I think if anyone's making a different fight to this, you're kind of retarded. This is just a good fight to make. Who has the better spazzy, karate, taekwondo bullshit? That's just what we need to find out. We move on to the next fighter. I want to fight Shavkat Jack Dela. I'm going to cruise my way into the top 5. It's Dela versus Shavkat's the fight to make as a number 1 contender fight in Australia, in Perth, in August, UFC 304 or 5, whatever that is. I don't think that's confirmed, but that's what they're looking to do apparently. Insert Dana. That's what we're looking to do. It's like, Dana, are you going to give Bilal a title shot or are you going to export him to the PFL? That's what we're looking to do. So yeah, I think you just do this fight in August. And then you run those other fights that I said in the meantime. You run Leon versus Bilal. You run Shavkat versus Dela, this fight. You run Colby versus Ian Gary. And then if Gary wins that, he's probably 1 fight away from a title shot. And then you run MVP versus Wonderboy. And then if MVP wins, he's 1 fight away. So this kind of does create a bit of a hassle, but I think this is the clearest of clear number 1 contender fights. If you make this as a 5-round co-main event or a 5-round special fight, or if they even change the Perth card to a fight night instead of a pay-per-view and just main event fight night, this banger, certified hood classic. The hood would get around this one. All my bros in the hood love JDM. And all my bros in the hood love Shavkat too. So this is just a banger fight. I do think Shavkat would win. I just don't trust Dela's grappling too much. And even on the feet, Burns was cracking him a bit. But then again, Shavkat was getting cracked a whole bunch by Jeff Neal. But I would pick Shavkat to win, and I think a majority of people would too. But still, who wouldn't want this fight? Dela called him out like an absolute G. Anglo Chad Dela Maddalena calls out the guy that no one wants to fight in the division. Yeah, I'll fight fucking Shavkat, I don't really fucking care about his fucking undefeated record. I'll just take him on. So yeah, good stuff, Dela. Make this fight happen. Whenever they go to Australia, I'd say, like, if it's a pay-per-view, honestly, I wouldn't mind a Whittaker-Strickland pay-per-view main event. I know that's not amazing. It's not crazy. Obviously, what they're probably going to end up doing is Izzy versus Dricus, because for some reason the UFC just is allergic to actually going to Africa with an African champion. But let me know in the comments if they stacked the Australia card and just didn't have a title fight, but they did Whittaker versus Strickland 5-round main event of a pay-per-view. I know it's not crazy, but hear me out. Whittaker Strickland 5-round pay-per-view main event. Then you do fucking this 5-round co-main event, and then you get like your other guys. You get your Tuivasa, you get your Steve Erceg, you get these other guys. Or they can get Volk as the main event, but I doubt they're going to do Topuria Volk in Australia. I just don't think that's what they would do. I've waffled a bit too long. I'm going from next fights to make, and I'm just venturing into card builders. So yeah, whatever. We move on to the next fighter. Song Yudong got a loss, not a win. I thought I was going to say win there. He lost to Peter Yan in the main card opener. I think he should fight Umar Nurmagomedov next, and I think you should make this fight happen in Abu Dhabi when they go there in August, because apparently they're going to Abu Dhabi in August for a fight night. And so how far away is that from now? What? April, May, June, July, August. That's not too bad, 5 months. Obviously, Umar probably wants to fight before then. I imagine they might want to get him on the Saudi card. If Song Yudong's an absolute chad and isn't injured, he could probably make that 3-month turnaround, but I don't think he's going to make a 3-month turnaround after a hard fight with Yan. So yeah, if Umar fights in fucking Saudi, then do him versus another fucking Khan. Do him versus another fucking debuting Kazakhstani, and then he'll win by 30-27 decision, and then he'll jump up 7 spots in the rankings, because that's just fucking logical, and that's what the UFC does right now. He jumped up 3 spots in the rankings to number 10 after beating a debuting guy. So yeah, Umar Nurmagomedov vastly and fastly climbing through the rankings of 135 despite not beating any ranked competition. Great stuff. But little tangent there. But you could do him versus someone in the meantime in Saudi, or just wait out and do him versus Song in August in Abu Dhabi. You could do this as like a feature fight of a pay-per-view. This would be sick. Song's got pretty solid fucking takedown defense. I do stand by the fact that I think the only reason Peter Yan was able to take him down and hold him there more than Song has been in previous fights is because he was probably preparing solely for striking. I think Song came into this thinking, like, if anyone's going to wrestle, it's going to be me. Yan's going to try and keep this on the feet and do like little pretty striking. So I don't think he was prepared for the grappling of Jan. But if he fought Umar, like when he fought Simone, his takedown defense was sick. Not saying Simone's the same level of grappler as Umar, but Song has some of the better takedown defense in the division, some of the better sprawl, and he also has a great style to catch Umar. And like, you know how Almeida got finished off by blades? That's what we could see Song do to Umar. Just shoots a takedown, he's in, and then Song just starts fucking throwing punches. That's what we need to see. And I like Song a lot, man. So I probably think he would lose just because Umar's got plot armor as a Dagestani and they can't lose if their name ends in Nurmagomedov. So I don't want to see Song lose, but I think this would be a fight where you got to test Umar. I'm sick of people saying he should fight fucking Corey Sandhagen. That's retarded. He's somehow got ranked number 10. He hasn't beat a ranked opponent. He pulled out of the Corey Sandhagen fight. Corey is coming off like 3 or 4 wins. He literally deserves a title shot if Merab doesn't exist. He arguably deserves one after Merab. He probably shouldn't even have to fight. Give Corey a fucking title shot and then don't let Umar get a 10 spot jump up in competition without beating a ranked opponent. That's dumb. But yeah, make this happen. I'm very calm and relaxed. We move on to the next fight. Curtis Blades got a win over Jailton Almeida, and I think he should fight to Tom Aspinall at UFC London. No, UFC England. Oh, whatever it is, yeah. It's pretty. I'm going to make this an ongoing thing anytime I'm talking about a Blades fight. I'm just going to start stuttering. So yeah, Curtis Blades fight Tom Aspinall in England. When they go there, it's pretty fucking obvious. They fought there in England like 2 years ago. It was kind of a fluky knee injury, sorry. I'm tired right now, it's midnight, and I've got no sleep. But yeah, it was kind of fluky. Aspinall got injured, so run it back. Obviously, Blades is only coming off 1 win, but we reward Blades because he finished and fucking exposed and fraud-checked and humiliated Jailton Almeida's terrible style of fighting of just shooting takedowns with no ground and pound, no submissions, and no control time. And yeah, he humiliated him and finished him with literal fucking hammer fists while he was on a double leg, like an absolute bitch that Almeida was. But I don't want to hate on Almeida too much. He's a good fighter, but yeah, come on, that style's fucking terrible. But yeah, Almeida versus, I always keep saying Almeida. Aspinall versus Blades in England, make it happen. We move on to the next fight. Tayuz Skamrot got the win against RDA, and hear me out, I'm going to give him Arman Sayukian next, and I'm going to take a minute to explain this. So, what I believe is going to happen is obviously Justin Gaethje, Max Holloway, winner or loser of that, I don't think either of those two's fighting Gamrot. Let me just get that out the way. So, because even though I don't like him so much and he's boring as fuck, I respect that he's getting wins and Skamrot does deserve a jump up in competition. So, he's ranked number 6. I think after this win, there's an argument to put him above Chandler at number 5. So that leads him with, he's not fighting Poirier, he's his teammate. Otherwise, that would be the fight I would do. But Oliveira versus Arman Sayukian is happening in a couple weeks at UFC 300. I think Oliveira's going to win. I'm not confident, but I think he's going to win. So you could put this as a placeholder with the Oliveira-Sayukian loser, make it that happen, because the winner probably gets a title shot. But the loser would have to fight down. If it's Arman, obviously it's a rematch. But that first fight was sick. Arman, in my opinion, won, but technically Gamrot has a win over him, so that could be a way for him to be like, yeah, see, I deserve that jump up in ranking. I already beat you, so I got to try and take your spot again. They can market it as that. They could do that. So if it's a rematch, that's still fine. It's still a great fight to run. And if Oliveira loses to Sayukian, God forbid, then him versus Gamrot is, in my opinion, a very winnable fight for Oliveira, just because what the fuck is Gamrot going to do? He got dropped and looked like a retard against RDA in the first round. He's not just going to be able to wrestle Charles with no ground and pound and no offensive striking threat. So yeah, I think Oliveira would sleep him. So I do think I'm going to go with Arman versus Gamrot. But whatever happens, yeah. Or we could just spite Skamrot and make him fight down the rankings, or give him like BSD or some shit like that. Or make him fight, I don't know, someone. But yeah, make him fight Maitebek or Olbai or some shit like that. But yeah, Skamrot, I'll respect the hustle. He's getting the wins how he needs to get him. But we move on to the next fight. Kyler Phillips got a big win against Pedro Munoz. Schooled him, outclassed him. I'd just say do Rob Font. I think that's a fun fight. Boxer, like striking matchup. This ain't going to the ground. And yeah, I think this will just be a really fun fight. Font, even though he's coming off a bunch of losses, he's still always fun when he gets in there. The last time he beat like a kind of up-and-coming guy was Yanez, when he kind of fraud-checked Yanez. Maybe he could do the same to Phillips. I doubt it. I do think Phillips would just be way too fast for him. We saw Font struggle with the speed of Figgy. I think Phillips is really quick, so I think he would just dance rings around him. But Font needs to fight back in the rankings. He's holding on to a top 10 spot with like 1 win in his last like 4 fights. I like Font. He's a fun fighter, but come on, bro. You lost to Sandhagen. You lost to Cheeto. You lost to Figgy. And you lost to like Aldo and shit. Like, come on. We need a win out of you, or you just got to fight down. So yeah, make this fight happen in like, I don't know, sometime like July, whatever, August. I don't know, June, July, August. Something like that. Should be fun. Do it on like a fight night main card if they go to like Boston, because I know Font's from Texas, I'm pretty sure, or wherever Phillips is from. If you go there, make it happen. We move on to the next fighter. Pereira got a big win over Michal Oleksiejczuk by submission in the first round. Just bullied him, hurt him badly to the body, ended up on his back and got the choke, just fucked him up real bad. And I think I want to see him versus a ranked guy. I was thinking of Chris Curtis, but I realized, I looked down the rankings, I was like, who here do I really not like? And I hate them as a fighter and as a person. They just annoy me. And I took a look down and I found this old fuck with a receding hairline named Roman Dolidze, and I think, he's due to get fucking slept. Amavov almost had him out of there. If the grounded knees rule wasn't fucking banned, which is retarded, then he would have got head kick fucking KO'd. So yeah, I'm in the mood to see Roman Dolidze get slept. I think all of you guys are too. Let me know in the comments. Let's get a poll going in the chat. Yes or no? I want to see Roman Dolidze get slept by by Michel Pereira. I think this would happen. Dolidze looks shit. He can't defend punches. His offense isn't even that good. And he's old and washed, and he's got a receding hairline. So make this fight happen in Brazil, I think. Actually, maybe Dolidze still, that's probably a bit too soon for him because he got beat up by Mavov. But maybe you could do someone else in the meantime in Brazil. But yeah, run this fight next as... When he gets into the rankings, this is the perfect fight for him. Just a guy who's really easy to beat up and look fun and look good against. That's what we need from Michel Pereira. Get around him. He's promotable. He does good things at 185. He could actually be a real problem. Because not many guys just run through Michal Oleksiejczuk. And his last 2 wins have been like finishes in like just over a minute. Andre Petroski, Michal Oleksiejczuk, not guys that are super high level, but also not guys that just get ran through. Like lean to the plug, trust. But yeah, make this fight happen. We move on to the last fighter. Robeles de Spain versus the fighter that I need to see him against is Waldo Cortez Acosta. You guys, if you were in my chat for the card where Waldo fought Andrei Arlovski and was being a tard and trying to taunt Andrei Arlovski after literally arguably losing the fight 2-1, and he was trying to taunt a 44-year-old veteran for barely beating him, I was like, yeah, fuck this guy. And at this point, we had this fight booked. We knew Despain was making his debut, and I said to my chat, if Despain beats Parisian, which he will, I was like, run him versus Waldo, and we can see Waldo get fucking decapitated, the fat fuck, the Dominican, trying to taunt Andrei Arlovski, bro. Absolute sped. The funny thing is in that thing was me and my chat were just naming historical events that Andrei Arlovski was present for. It was like, bro, he was there for the fall of the Berlin Wall, all that. Like, he was there. He was the cause for World War I, he assassinated Arch Franz Duke Ferdinand. Like, he's been through it all, Andrei Arlovski. So how dare you, you fat Dominican that doesn't know how to check leg kicks. How dare you insult and taunt this man. So yeah, I'm in the mood to see this dude get fucking slept. Dominica versus Cuba, or Dominican Republic versus Cuba. You could run that. They're pretty close to each other geographically, My geographical knowledge is quite sensational, if I do say so myself. But yeah, you could run this fight in on the Brazil card, even though neither of them are Brazilian. They're both they're both Caribbean, they both speak Spanish. Run that fight, make it happen, and I want to see Waldo get fucking slept out cold. But that is all the fights next to make. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know who you guys want to see everyone fight next in the comments. And yeah, we'll back with some more videos coming soon, and I'll see you guys in the next one. This is a long one. Peace out.